Hey everybody, it's Mr. Greg. I'm here with another Submissions for Smorgie video. Pardon the hat, it is H for Hat Day today, so hence the reason I'm wearing my hat. So April from Allen, Texas teaches first grade, and her question was, how do I run my reading stations? Well, that's a good question. I get that question a lot. So I'm going to kind of walk you through it a little bit, and I'll put a couple of links on my blog so you can go back and read some more about how I run my centers. The key to running my centers is this lovely wheel. I have the wheel divided into 4 sections because I have 4 groups. On the wheel, you can see that each group or color has 2 options. So during center time, the purple group in this situation can either write the room or go to the library and read. They will stay in those 2 centers for the entire center time. We do not transition out of centers. So once they're in their center, they stay there. Within that center, within Write the Room and within the library, there are many, many choices for them to work on so that they don't get bored, they don't run out of stuff to do. For example, Write the Room, we have our Write the Room, which could be thematic or seasonal or holiday. And then we have a differentiated Write the Room where they're working on a phonics skill by finding that skill in the room and writing those words. You can also see that this group here goes to listening or their tubs. And I'm going to walk over and show you what the tubs look like. The tubs, you've seen them on my blog many times. The tubs are these lovely drawers that we use for centers. As you can tell, they're differentiated. They're color-coded to match the wheel. So if the purple group goes to tubs, they know they come over and they pick a purple tub. Within the tubs, they just grab one, and there's a center activity in there. Again, lots of choice. There are 9 tubs for each color. So they can pick one. Any of the tubs in their color is fine. And then they go and work on it. If they finish, they can do it again, or they can put it up and choose another one. We also have, like I said, Write the Room, and it looks like this. Again, color-coded to match the wheel. So they come, they grab a paper out of the basket, and they write the room. They can find, so for example, right now we have animals, and here's an example of the differentiated, where they're looking for words with a magic E on the end. Again, so choice keeps them busy, keeps them engaged. We also have listening and computer centers. Once they're at the computer, that also means they can be on the iPad, the iPods for QR codes, or they can be on the smartboard. A couple of things about centers. Like I said, we do not transition from center to center. We stay in the centers for the entire time. Some days, depending on the day, we may have 45 minutes to an hour in centers. Some days may be a little less. Usually early in the week, Monday, Tuesday, is a lot less time in centers. By the end of the week, we're spending a lot more time in our centers. Couple of management tips. If somebody is not doing what they're supposed to do in centers and it's becoming a problem, if they get more than one warning, they have to clean up their center, and then they have to come over here with a piece of paper and a pencil and just write sight words. They're still learning, still academic, they're just not getting to do the fun stuff in centers. If we run out of time and your work is not finished, we have baskets. So we put our name on our paper, we put it in the blue basket, and the next day, when it's center time, we know that we need to go check the basket first. So before we start centers, before you go look at the wheel, you know to come and check the basket. If you don't have anything in the basket, then you walk to the wheel and you look at the wheel. The wheel tells you what centers to go to. Mr. Greg has no idea what center you go to. I'm just goofy and don't know. So we know that if you want to know what center to go to, you ask the wheel. Once you check the wheel and the wheel tells you what center to go to, we go to that center and we get to work. Once we're in that center, we are free to do whatever we want within that center as far as picking an activity or writing the room Those choices are there. We make the choice for what we want to do and we work on it. When it's time to clean up, I turn on the cleanup song. Everybody cleans up. Unfinished work goes in the blue basket. Everything gets cleaned up, and that's how we run centers. So lots of choice. The wheel is the key because it stops me from having to tell people where to go. So I don't have to say, you go to this center, you go to that center, you go to that center. And if they come to my table and ask me where to go, I always say, I don't know, ask the wheel. So that just makes the management piece a lot easier. It's very visual. They know their colors, they know what color their groups are, so they can just look at it and see what centers to go to, and they go. So lots of choice keeps them engaged, keeps them busy. No transitions because that just saves us time and gives us more time in centers, more time in small groups and guided reading, and more time for us to learn. If we can't do it, we sit down and write sight words. Wah, wah. And that's very effective. After, about 20 minutes of writing sight words, they're ready to go back and work at those fun centers. I think that's it for running my reading centers. Of course, while they're all in centers, I'm pulling groups and working with guided reading and trying to pull one-on-one if I need to. And I think that's it. If you have any more questions, just submit them to Smorgie, and I'll be happy to answer them. Thanks for the great question, April, and I hope this helps. And have a good day. Bye, everybody.